Today, we're going to talk about a language that holds this really rare and powerful secret. See, it's both a mother tongue, the kind whispered in homes, and it's also a source language, the ancient root of entire cultures. This, right here, is the story of Syriac. So let's just start with a really big idea. Language, it isn't just a bunch of words, right? It's more like this invisible thread that weaves a whole society together. It's how we connect with each other, how we share our stories, and really how we pass down the very essence of who we are. And honestly, it goes even deeper than that. A language isn't just some tool we use. It's a living, breathing archive. It holds our collective memory, our entire history, our deepest values. You could almost say it's the very soul of a culture. We usually think of language as just grammar and vocabulary, all the boring stuff we had to learn in school. But that's just barely scratching the surface. What's underneath all of that? Well, that's what truly matters. Because every single language is a completely unique lens on reality. It's got its own logic, its own structure, its own way of seeing the world. So when a language dies, we don't just lose a set of words, we lose an entire universe of thought. And that brings us right to the heart of our story today, Syriac. A language with a history so profound, it actually forces us to rethink everything we thought we knew about the power of language itself. I mean, just take a look at the incredible history here. Syriac isn't just old, it's ancient. It's a direct descendant of Aramaic, with roots that stretch way back to the Akkadian and Assyrian empires. This was the language of kings. It's a sibling to Hebrew and Arabic, and it had a huge influence on both. And of course, it holds this sacred place in Christianity as the language spoken by Christ. This is a language that has truly, truly stood the test of time. But Syriac isn't just one single uniform language. It's more like a family of dialects with two main branches. Over in the west, you've got the Sirdos script and the Torio dialect. And in the east, there's the Madanhaya script and the Suit dialect, which you might hear called Assyrian or Chaldean. So they might look and sound a little different, but they all share those same ancient roots. But here's where the story of Syriac gets even more fascinating. This was a language that didn't just belong to one people. For centuries, it was a bridge, a kind of conduit, a vessel that carried knowledge across continents and through time itself. Okay, think of it like this. Through these amazing centers of learning in places like Antioch and Nisibis, Syriac scholars basically became the intellectual guardians of their time. They translated all the great works of Greek philosophy, medicine, and science, and they carried that knowledge right into the growing Arab world. This created a golden age of intellectual exchange, enriching Islamic philosophy and even the Arabic language. In a very real way, Syriac was the bridge that carried the torch of knowledge from the ancient world into the modern one. The writer Malfunda Yusuf Beğtaş put it so beautifully. He said that Syriac is like a buried treasure, a treasure trove of wisdom and creativity just waiting to be dug up, ready to dazzle the world all over again. And all of this brings us to the most remarkable part of our story. It's a linguistic twist that makes Syriac almost unique in the entire world. It's a story of two words, two ideas, that sound almost the same, but couldn't be more different. First, you have anadili, your mother tongue. This is the language of your childhood, the language of your heart. It's the one you learned from your family, without any books or classrooms. It's the language that literally shapes your identity. Then you have anadil, a source language. This is the ancient parent, the wellspring that other languages are born from. Just think of how Latin is the anadil of French, Spanish, and Italian. So here's the key difference, right? Anadili is the language of your mother. Anadil is the mother of languages. One is personal, it's intimate, it's a part of who you are. The other is historical, it's foundational, a part of our shared human story. And very, very few languages can claim to be both. But here's the incredible thing. Syriac is one of them. For the Syriac people, it is their anadili, their mother tongue, the language of their hearts. And for the entire world, it is an anadil, a source language, a wellspring of knowledge and culture that has nourished civilizations for thousands of years. And it's this unbelievable duality that makes the current situation so heartbreaking. Because this ancient treasure, this bridge between worlds, is actually on the verge of disappearing. The Syriac writer Naum Fayak once wrote that a person who does not know their mother tongue cannot know why they exist. Just let that sink in for a second. To lose your language is to lose your very reason for being. And it's not just a personal loss either. The philosopher Confucius warned that to destroy a society, it is enough to make them forget their language. The stakes really couldn't be any higher. You know, there's a saying that captures this idea perfectly. Learning a new language is like trying on a new coat. But your mother tongue, that's your skin. You can't just replace it. So what do we do? Where do we go from here? The future of Syriac isn't just in the hands of the people who speak it. It's a shared responsibility. It's a cultural treasure that really belongs to all of us. To keep this ancient voice alive, it's going to take a global effort. We need support from individuals, from organizations, from universities. We need to realize that Syriac is, as one writer put it, a vein in the heart of history. By nurturing this language, by supporting its teachers and its speakers, we're not just saving a collection of words, we're bringing a vital, beautiful part of our shared human story back to life. So, in the end, we're left with a question. A history is calling out to us, a voice that shaped civilizations, that carried wisdom across continents, that gave a people its soul. The only question is, will we have the wisdom to listen?